So this is blast number 3 on why I think you should attend the most important course I'm going to be teaching this year, which is how to predict or change and create your new future. And again, my teacher was Buckminster Fuller, and he wrote many, many books and many inventions. But the one book I fully understood, I didn't understand most of them, was The Grunch of Giants, because I'm a money guy. So it's really about how to predict how you can change your future. And one of the biggest changes is that these are my credit cards here. And one of the biggest changes that happened in the history of the world was in 1913, the Federal Reserve was created. And in 1971, Nixon took us off the gold standard. Now, what that meant here was that my lovely credit cards here is the way the government turned money from an asset into a liability. So I love my credit cards. So all these people telling you to get out of debt, they're a bunch of losers. They don't know what they're talking about. One of the biggest changes a person has to understand is how to use debt to get rich. Unfortunately, most people use debt to get poor. So that's one of the changes. So you can see the changes. So last thing is this: changing will be primarily financial. And one of the biggest changes that I did since reading this book here is I don't work for money. I print my own money. So I will teach you how to print your own money so you don't become a victim of that bad advice of work hard, save money, get out of debt, and invest for the long term in a well-diversified portfolio of mutual funds that invest in debt also. So anyway, I will be teaching you how to change your thinking so you can print your own money. It is crucial you understand that, because otherwise you get wiped out. You cannot get rich as fast as the government is printing it. And the third part is change, or create, excuse me. So this is part of the prediction. Let's call it ephemeralization. And part of the change here, this is the big change. It's the end of the industrial age, beginning of the information age, and a whole new way of thinking is coming up. And the 3 days that get you to start thinking differently. And the way you get ahead this way is not by saving money. You get ahead by printing money, just like the Federal Reserve and the U.S. government does. And for those of you who are concerned about the election, I'll just give you 2 things. I've said this before. The difference between a Democrat and a Republican is very simple. Democrats tax and spend, and the Republicans borrow and spend. That's the only difference. So I like the Republican way a lot better, simply because I can get rich faster with tax-free money by borrowing and spending. So I don't care if Barack Obama gets in or McCain gets in right now, because I'm going to just keep going along this path while the rest of the people are still hoping the government's going to take care of them. It's not going to take care of them, in my opinion. There's a lot of opinions out there, simply because the end of the industrial age is upon us. The third thing is about how you create your future, and the way you do that is, once we've taught you how to predict and then to change, the way you create your future is you go into the future. So part of the 3 days is we want you to go into the future and work backwards. The reason most people are in financial trouble is because they're here trying to go this way. It's completely opposite of reverse thinking. And my friend Blair Singer, who is a Rich Dad advisor, sales partners, and sales dolls, he's going to be teaching people a thing called PERT. And PERT stands for Planning, Evaluation, Review Technique. It's the way we put the man on the moon. You know, when Kennedy says we will put a man on the moon by the end of the decade, they had to go into the future. Now, Kennedy was wiped out a few years earlier, but his vision still held true. So they went into the future and they worked backwards. And what PERT does is this: they have these events. And each event causes another event to happen this way. And we keep going backwards until you get back to the present here. So that's what you'll be learning to do. In my opinion, it's one of the most powerful planning tools any business owner, any investor can learn. Anybody who wants to change their future and create their future is learning how to go first into the future and work backwards. As I've said, most people are going to get wiped out. Every 75 years, there tends to be a depression. And so all the people who think the economy keeps going this way and it reverses course on them, those are the people that get wiped out. Part of the 3-day is to watch this trend right here, how to take that trend here, which is the information kicking in, and then how to work backwards from here back to here so you can get your future. As I said, in 1981, I met Dr. Fuller, and in 1981, that's when I started designing the Rich Dad company. because I could see these financial changes coming about, and I could see it because I understood this book here, Grunch of Giants, Gross Universal Cash Heist. It's how the rich rip off the poor and the middle class, and one of the ways to rip off the poor and the middle class is very simply they print their own money. So that's what we'll be learning over the next few days, is how to predict, in October, how to predict, change, and create your future. But one of the biggest changes is this idea of working hard, saving money, and getting out of debt. Those are obsolete industrial age ideas. One of the things you'll change once you can see a different future, and how you train your mind to predict the future. Not that I'll give you the future, but I'll train you how to think that way, but how you can change your thinking and start printing money rather than working for money. So those are the 3 days in October. I generally do not repeat any of the courses I ever do. I'll do something next year. I only do 2 courses a year, and so this is the last course for 2008. Again, I think it's the most important seminar I will do because it is about the future, and the future is changing. In 1981, when I met Dr. Fuller, my life changed because my future changed. So that's what the 3 days will be about. I'd love to have you there. If not, I trust some of this information has been useful in your life. Thank you.